All right, so I'm getting sick of the word slop already, but there's a reason that it exists. It perfectly describes something that was made with the sole purpose of making money. We need this word now more than ever. Today, I want to do a little corporate slop tier list. All right, starting off strong, S tier, our brains, dude. Once they realized with TikTok the brainwashing that can be done with short form content, they have not looked back since. Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, LinkedIn, any app that can have shorts has shorts. The good news here is that besides YouTube, like the lion no longer concerns himself with any of these apps anyway. I mean, bro, if you're 25 plus and you're still using Snapchat, then you're on some Epstein shit. Let's be real here. What are you doing on there, big bro? But even when you don't use these apps, you look around and you can see that like the impact that it's having. Like for example, something I keep noticing, it's so funny. I'll be standing at a crosswalk, and even though it's their light, a car will just be sitting there on green. And this has been happening my whole life. This is nothing new, a driver not paying attention. But now there'll be another car behind them also just sitting there at a green light. No honking or anything, just two cars not going on green because both of these dudes are on their phones. Short form content is a mental cigarette. It's unlimited profits for these companies and insanely damaging to the users. Big tech basically mogs big tobacco now. It's the same way you talk to a smoker, a real scroller doesn't even enjoy scrolling, you know? I was addicted to nicotine for like, I don't even know, 7, maybe 8 years. By the end of those years, I didn't want to be doing it anymore. I hated it, but it was so ingrained into my subconscious. And this is the same shit here. They are legitimately setting up shop in the brains of the public. And I think there's an argument to be made that it's actually worse than smoking. Okay, no, that's actually crazy. It's not worse health wise, but worse mentally because it changes how you feel at any given time. It tells you when to laugh, when to be pissed off, when to feel motivated. You know, when I was a real scroller back in, I don't know, 2022, 2023, I would notice that if I scrolled long enough, I would start to see my thoughts show up on my feed. Like I wouldn't say them out loud. I wouldn't type them to send messages to anyone. It would be like I would think of something and then I would see it on my feed. And that's when I was like, all right, bro, like I gotta stop using this shit. You know, it was like I was so controlled, I was so figured out by this algorithm that it knew what I was thinking. So the science is coming out now about, you know, gray matter and this and that. But it's like, shit, dude, I don't need to see the science. Just look around. Every possible second of downtime can now be filled. You now have the option to avoid sitting with your thoughts and thinking for even a second, dude. Like back in the day, you used to have to get fucked up to do that. Now you just take out your phone unconsciously and scroll. The long term impact of outsourcing your brain to Mark Zuckerberg is honestly too fucked up for me to even think about or talk about right now. But if you ask why, like why? Why decimate the brains of the public, of the kids? Forget movies. These kids can't even sit through YouTube videos anymore, bro. Why? Look at the stocks, bro. That's why. User engagement, most accurate ad targeting possible. It's monetized unconsciousness. Nobody says, hey, I want to sit here and scroll for the next 20 minutes. It's unconscious. And that's why it's so powerful and that's why it's so profitable, right? It's just like smoking. And, you know, the same can be said about long form content too. Like, there's been so many times where I'm like, yo, did I just watch YouTube videos for 2 hours? Or like Netflix, bro, especially if I'm in a bad state of mind, right? If I get caught lacking, like I didn't sleep right, or if I went out the night before, it's like, yo, did I just watch the entire P. Diddy documentary? Like, that was long form unconscious behavior, what I just did. But short form is more dangerous and it's more profitable because there is zero focus required, zero barrier to entry. The second that you start to get a little bored, the second you start to have a thought, you're already scrolling, you're already on your feed. It's just unconscious. Our ability to sit and reflect is what makes us human beings. It makes us create, it makes us not insane, but it also makes no money. Listen to this quote. It shouldn't be hard for you to stop sometimes and look into the stains of walls, or ashes of a fire, or clouds, or mud, or like places in which you may find marvelous ideas. You know who said that, bro? Da Vinci. Like, the ability to sit there and do nothing is important, bro. but they don't want you to sit down and think for yourself. I seriously think today, silence and the ability to sit in silence is like a vitamin now. You have to take that shit every day or you become unconscious. I don't know. I probably sound like a nut job right now. My bad. That was a little intense to start this tier list. Next tier list item, also going in S tier, food. I remember way back in the day when they first put a Chipotle in my neighborhood, we were all pumped. We were like, yo, this is new. This is awesome. But we didn't realize that everything was going to be turned into Chipotle. Now you got Kava, Nava, Graba, like sweet green, sweet bowl, whatever stupid name you could think of. The food has been corporatized. It's actually nuts. Private equity now owns food completely in this country. And the whole thing is just dark to me personally, especially when I was in the corporate world myself, because picking which corporate slop bowl I was going to get was like the highlight of my corporate slop day. You get there, you stand in line with a bunch of other people, and they all look exactly like me. They're doing the same shit. It's just like, fuck. But the worst part is it's not cheap. Economically, it's a waste of money, and you don't even enjoy it. The definition of slop. At Chipotle, too, it's like you're trying to scheme. I'd always be trying to scheme ways to get extra chicken without having to pay for it. I'd be like, oh, can I get more chicken, please? And some pissed off, underpaid worker gives you like that death stare. It's like, no, you can't, because this is a corporation. Each piece of chicken has been ran through Excel. So you're going to take your little slop bowl, like a good little boy, and you're going to come back tomorrow. Society has accepted these soulless, quick options because what we all want is just healthy food, like chicken and a couple veggies, dude. It's not like we're asking for much. So what we have is all these different brands giving you this illusion of choice, quote, healthy food, but it's just an illusion. Like it's really just a feeding trough. I don't know how else to describe it. And it gets even worse when you get DoorDash and Uber Eats involved. Like the humiliation ritual of going to Chipotle can actually be avoided if you just get more corporate with it and order your bowl to be delivered. In New York especially, like the amount of electric bike delivery dudes, it has gotten so insane. These guys post up outside these slop factories like 50 to 100 deep, just taking orders all day. And honestly, God bless them. Yeah, sometimes they get annoying when I'm walking and I'm like dodging these dudes flying at me 50 miles an hour. But the fact that the demand is even there for all these guys, it's just crazy to me. Especially because when I was 18, I tried doing that shit. It was way less of a common thing back then. There was way less competition. So I was on Postmates, and that shit is not easy. I mean, now these guys are like major league delivery guys with all the equipment and shit. But dude, I barely knew how to even ride a bike at this point. I had my mom's shitty little, not electric or anything bike. And I'll never forget my first order. It took me so long to get to the customer. By the time I got there, they had canceled the order, like right as I was pulling up. So I ended up just eating that shit. Just ate their breakfast. But it's hard work. So honestly, I respect those guys. But the fact that people will spend like $30 for a lukewarm bowl from Chipotle and get skimped on the chicken and all that, it's like that's the corporate slop. These companies love that you're paying that much for that shitty of a product, you know? Next on the tier list, S tier again, sports, dude. Watching sports, I understand. It's kind of stupid if you think about it long enough, you know? You get so invested in a season, and then by the time it's the next season, you're like, I don't even remember who won last year. But to be honest, I love that dumb shit, and I always have. It's been a part of my life since I can remember. But my love for sports has faded recently, man. Like, besides the Yankees, besides the Knicks, I'm pretty tapped out of the sports world. And a huge part of that is this integration of corporations, this integration of gambling into every inch of every sport. It actually makes me nauseous, dude. Like society has gone from playing sports to watching sports to now just gambling on sports. I mean, bro, they put the parlays up on the screen in the middle of the games. And then you get to the commercials and it's even worse. Like, I swear, bro, if I have to see Kevin Hart or Shaquille O'Neal's fat ass tell me one more time to start gambling, I'm going to lose it. Like, the money must be so, so long. Because I'm seeing people that never in a million years would I think would need to take a gambling deal, take a gambling deal. It's like they forgot or just don't care how many kids are watching this shit. And even 18-year-olds, like when I was 18, bro, like I don't think I should have been able to walk outside, let alone open up a gambling app and start placing bets. Kids adore Tom Brady. They adore LeBron. When I was a kid, bro, like I worshiped Derek Jeter. Like if Derek Jeter told me to rob an old lady, I think I would have done it. I'm so serious right now. So to have all these cultural icons, these heroes for these kids, just shill for these companies all day long, it's just slop. Like when I was growing up, we'd be getting ready for school. I put on Sports Center every morning, and it breaks my heart, dude, that these little boogers now, if they're still doing that, are basically just being primed for their 18th birthday when they can rip a bunch of parlays. I actually think that I got lucky because I learned my lesson with this shit at a young age. Because when I was like 14, I got totally scammed on these Counter Strike skin gambling sites. Like I just lost over and over and over. It's like, thank God. It wasn't a lot of money, obviously, but if I had won a huge jackpot at that age, I'd probably be gambling to this day. That's how you become an addict. You win big, right? You don't become an addict from the losses. But now it's like I have a few friends that are just totally brainwashed by this gambling shit, bro. It's just so annoying because not only is it the worst thing to talk about, like the most mind-numbing shit to talk about, so I don't want to hear about your parlays, but on top of that, it's like anytime there's a sports game on, like a big one, let's say we get together, it's like the Knicks playoffs or something, we go to a bar, it's like these dudes are rooting for their parlays more than our team, bro, like more than New York. I don't know, man. Like gambling has been around forever. But shit, like at least it used to be sketchy. You had to go through some mobster. Now it's plastered all over every ad, every commercial, every subway platform. Now when I open up Robinhood, I can bet on the Knicks. Like, bro, what is this nasty work? You're telling me if I wanted to, I could transfer money out of my retirement account and put it on Karl Anthony Towns plus minus rebounds. Like, what? And I'm not even going to get into the prediction market shit. Like, I'm not even going to get into the fact that we can bet on the nuclear fallout chances. We can bet on the weather, the traffic. It's like, it's not even them doing this that surprises me or bothers me because it's corporations, it's profits, it's greed. It's not surprising, but it's the gaslighting that this is normal shit, you know, the nonstop blabbering about it, the integration into everyday life. That's the slop for me. And next, YouTube itself. Also going into the S tier. Look, I love YouTube. I'm part of this new specimen of man that grew up watching more YouTube than TV. I mean, out of all these platforms, YouTube is the best by far, right? But the damage that Mr. Beast has done to this website, diabolical. He is the Mr. Doofenshmirtz of YouTube. He created the blueprint that prioritized views over everything else. And he was successful, like you gotta admit. But with his success, now millions of YouTubers naturally want to replicate that, right? And that's how we kind of got to where we are today with the shocked faces, the YouTuber voice. What's going on, guys? Today we're gonna torture 50 people and give them millions of dollars. Like the clickbait, it just changed how YouTubers make YouTube videos. It went from this site where you share your thoughts and ideas to this, yo, you can make millions of dollars on here, yo, Mr. Beast is a billionaire. Like, I think, in my opinion, once you start making YouTube videos with the sole intention of making money, the chances of your videos being slop are like 80%. What was so cool to me about the OG YouTube, it was like, wow, these people are making a ton of money. Like, I knew that, but it was because they loved making YouTube videos. Now people want to get rich, so they start making YouTube videos. And look, obviously now I have a unique perspective on this as someone who's making money off YouTube. Like my gratitude for that is genuinely, I can't even articulate it, right? But that's not why I started. For me, honestly, I started because it was like therapy. And then I saw that it was helping some people. And then it was just like, I just kept going. But in terms of making money, like there's certain things that I do on this channel that make no sense in terms of profits, right? Like I curse, I use COD footage. A lot of times I'm talking about shit that no sane advertiser would want their brand associated with. So money-wise, these things make no sense, but they allow me to be myself. They allow me to capture some of that authenticity that I fell in love with growing up with YouTube. You know what I mean? But the truth is, this isn't just like a little social platform anymore. It's not like this little fun thing. It's the biggest website in the world behind Google. Mr. Beast is a billionaire. There's a Mr. Beast world in Saudi Arabia, dude. Like, my parents know who Mr. Beast is. It's just crazy to me as someone who remembers him as like the freak who said Logan Paul's name a million times. But look, I'd also be lying if I said that I didn't understand how the algorithm works myself, like what works and what doesn't. If I didn't think about these things, I'd be a shit YouTuber. Like, there'd be a chance that a lot of you guys listening right now never would have discovered this channel. So you do have to play the game, but I just, I try not to be a slave to the algorithm, to views. Free game. Like, if anyone wants to go viral these days, just make a video and title it "Blank is a humiliation ritual," and free algorithm cheese. But seriously, I think that there's a void on YouTube of content with human soul in it, like real experiences that people deal with and real emotions. And it's become just click this video and see how long I can dangle $1 million over these people. Let's see what these poor people are willing to do for $1 million. Honestly, I feel like this might have come off as a negative video, and it's kind of hard for it not to be. I mean, the corporatization of our culture can't really easily be spun into a positive. And if we're being honest, like, most of what I talked about today is chicken shit compared to the real impact these huge corporations, these private equity firms are having on our culture and just our lives as Americans. I mean, housing, groceries, small businesses. Like, I could make a 3-hour tier list if we're being real, but who the fuck would want to watch that? I for sure wouldn't. But the good news is, there is good news, to me at least. A lot of what I talked about today, as unavoidable as it seems at times, can be mocked. At the end of the day, we make the decision on where we put our money and our attention. You don't have to do the Mr. Beast face to make YouTube videos. Authenticity still mogs. You don't have to get a slop bowl for lunch every day. Meal prepping still mogs. Honestly, lunch specials still mog. Find one of those little Thai or Chinese spots. You will pay less for a lunch special. They'll serve it to you. Beautiful service, spring rolls, soup, salad, all that shit for less than what it costs for a shitty Chipotle bowl. Where you're eating it and you're like, why did that piece of chicken taste like that? You for sure don't have to doom scroll. I mean, thinking still mogs. I think the best thing about realizing how dumb a lot of this brainwashing and unconscious scrolling is that unplugging from it all is actually easy. It's not like quitting smoking. And look, I'm not trying to be on like some preacher shit. If you like Chipotle, go muck some Chipotle. If you scroll, then go scroll, you moron. I'm just joking, obviously. Everyone scrolls to some extent. But I just think that another positive here, just thinking about this right now, it's like with everything getting so slopified and Mr. Beastified, it's like the bar is much lower these days. If you can sit with your thoughts for 10 minutes, if you can read a book and think through some shit on your own, if you can have some kind of patience, if you can find out who you are as a person and be yourself and be authentic, you're ahead of a lot of people right now. And not even on some like, I'm better than you because I don't do this. It's just like my brain is less poisoned, So I have a better chance of being at peace with shit. Today it's like we're constantly trying to optimize everything. Do this because it's quick. This is convenient. This feels good. This gets the most results. But, this is how we end up where we are as data points on Excel. Life isn't always optimal. It can't always be rationalized. So yeah, you can pull positives out of anything, including corporate slop. So, let me know what you guys think. I know there was a ton of other shit I could have put on here. Gaming, that's another one. Dating, music to some extent. But these are the ones I wanted to talk about. So let me know what you guys think. And thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Peace.